welcome to Geordieland 1892. As you could see from the starting titles, I'm going to talk about the other club on Tynesider today. Won't be talking about Newcastle. I'll be leaving that to another video that I'll put up today. But Gateshead Football Club, aye, riding high at the minute, top of the National League North. They were demoted last year due to financial indiscrepancies. Unfairly, unjustly. They were 9th at the time. They finished 9th. But this season, they've come back with a bang. They're pulling up trees. And I tell you what, they're playing really, really well. Like I say, top of the division. 3 points in it at the minute. Second, chasing, breathing down their neck are Brackley Town. And incidentally, Gateshead have to play away at Brackley Town this weekend at St James's Park. St James's Park in Northamptonshire. Now, it's a massive game. Huge game. It could change a lot for Gateshead's season, really. If they want to get beat down there, it means that Brackley Town could be equal on points. There's only 3 points separate them. And also, Brackley have a game in hand. So Gateshead have got to go down there. They've got to put in their all. And they've got to try their level best to try and get 3 points down there. A point will do, but they do have that game in hand, Brackley. Now, this season, they're on a colossal 77 points. And, you know, they've been just scoring for fun. It's unbelievable. 77 goals they've scored so far this season. The only other team in the whole of the English platform, let's say, that have scored more are Fulham in the Championship. And like I say, Gateshead are second, and the third team are in the Premier League, and that's Liverpool. So, you know, they've been doing really, really well. I mean, Brackley Town, who they're playing at the weekend there, they've only scored 47 goals. So it's a colossal amount of goals more, really. They're actually on a 10-game unbeaten run at the moment. And that run was kicked off back in February by beating local rivals Blythe Spartans 3-0. Gateshead playing at home in that one. Last weekend saw Gateshead play Bradford Park Avenue. They were at home. They were at the International Stadium. And they could only manage a 0-0 draw, unfortunately. Very frustrating. They did pepper the Bradford goal, but, you know, at the end of the day, they couldn't put it in the back of the net. So getting a point out of that wasn't too bad. You would have hoped for more. In the meantime, Brackley were playing away in Durham at Spennymoor Town, and Brackley led for quite a long time in that game, which was nippy bum time. But good old Spennymoor Town managed to equalise. Spennymoor Town, black and white, they're playing, so really nothing gained for Gateshead at the weekend, but nothing really lost. But it just means that this weekend is a must-win game. Now, it would be lovely to see Gateshead get back up into the National League at the first time of asking, getting out of the National League North. Obviously, last season, it was an absolutely terrible situation that they were in. They've been in these situations in history many times before. Gateshead have had their head on the chopping block many, many times. And they are survivors, and I applaud them. They're a phoenix from the flames. They really are. And, you know, it's great to see. Great to see that they can survive that. Many other non-league clubs are not as lucky. We look at people like Bury Town, who went out of existence, and there's many, many more. Bad owners. And the thing is, it seems as if when you're down there in the lower leagues, the fit and proper persons test doesn't seem to work. And, you know, we're not talking about politics here. We're talking about finances and the well-being of a club, and not only a club, a community. And, you know, Dr. Rajan Bagaz and Joseph Calla, who took on Gateshead, really didn't know what the club meant. I don't think they really realised how heavily they were going to have to invest in it. Dr. Rajan Bagaz is an Indian man. He's a businessman who works out of Hong Kong, and Joseph Calla is an Italian-American who was basically the shadow owner. It was all a bit deceptive. Joseph Calla had been refused many times by the Football League to invest in other clubs, buy other clubs in the other parts of the country. How the hell he was allowed to come on board on the Gateshead project, I really don't know. But luckily, the Gateshead fans, the Heat Army, they managed to make a consortium, fans consortium, called Gateshead Soul, and they raised a hell of a lot of money, and they got 2 businessmen on board to help them out. Now, if it hadn't have been for that consortium, Gateshead Soul, and the help from Neil Pinkerton and Trevor Clark, businessmen who helped put in the money to stop the club from extinction, really, we wouldn't have this lovely club that we have. And fair play to it. Obviously, they're still in a lot of debt. It'll take time to pay it off. I think Mike Williamson, ex-Newcastle player, he's managing the club. He's doing a really, really good job. We've had some great managers in the past, ex-Newcastle United players at Gateshead. I think Terry Hibbert, Alan Shoulder was a caretaker manager as well. We had Ian Bogie, who did really well, and Steve Watson as well. And I think, a lot of that, the Steve Watson situation was, yet again, it was financial, leaving Gateshead, he went to York. But at the end of the day, Gateshead survive, and they are survivalists. And the Tynesiders will keep marching on. I think what's happened at Newcastle United lately, the fact that there's a huge, huge investment, allegedly the richest club in the world, there will be never, ever enough space for people to go and watch Newcastle all the time. So I would suggest that, and as people do, a lot of Newcastle supporters go to watch Gateshead, vice versa. But I would suggest, if you can't get in to see Newcastle on a Saturday, get yourself down to Gateshead, get yourself down to the International Stadium. You're doing well. The other thing, obviously, there's a lot of local clubs in the area. The South Shields just down the road, they're doing really, really well. South Shields play at Mariners Park, and they're top of their league. It's one league below the 7th tier. Gateshead play in the 6th. But they're top of their league at the minute. They will be hopefully moving into where Gateshead are now, and Gateshead will move up back into the 5th tier of English football. Obviously, the humble beginnings of Gateshead lie in South Shields. It was a man called Jack Inskip who started a team in 1899. It was a boys' club, a junior football club. He started that on Adelaide Terrace in the Laygate area of South Shields. And this is really why Gateshead are here. Gateshead FC are here today. Jack Inskip. It was a long train and a long journey that brought Gateshead to where they are now. But Jack Inskip made a very successful team, South Shields Adelaide Athletic. They turned professional in 1907. They played at Stanhope Stadium for a while and then moved into Horsley Hill. And, after a while, I think time was called on that one as well. They did very well, But after the First World War, you know, financial problems hit again, which is to be understood. And it left that team with no other option but to move. Now, South Shields Adelaide Athletic, they chopped off the Athletic and they chopped off the Adelaide throughout time and just became South Shields because I think it was a bit of a gobful. But they were always called the Lades. That was their nickname. But eventually, time was up. They had to leave Horsley Hill Stadium and they moved on to Redcliffe Park, Redcliffe and Gateshead. They did think about moving to a suburb of Newcastle, but it didn't happen. So they moved to what was called the Clay Hole. It was an industrial area of Gateshead just by the Tyne. And Redcliffe Park, well, saw some great history there. In 1953, them beating Liverpool in the third round. You know, they beat them 1-0 with Ian Winters scoring the goal in the 85th minute. I wasn't alive, but I've read about it. They actually got to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup that year, but they were knocked out by Bolton Wanderers. A 1-0 defeat. Nat Lofthouse scored the goal. Very famous football player indeed. And Bolton Wanderers won the FA Cup that year. There's so much to talk about Gateshead Football Club. I mean, I'm going to get into that, the whole thing, the history, in another video. It's very complicated to go blow by blow with it. But I tell you what, they're an amazing club, amazing bounce back ability, and you know, how they still survive to this day, I do not know, but I'm really, really happy they do. But I think we could all do a little bit more and put a little bit of money through the turnstiles. I know for a fact I live abroad. I would definitely be there very regularly if I was closer. But the minute I'm back, I will be going to watch Gateshead and putting my money through the turnstiles there. So good luck to Gateshead this weekend. Just another thing, obviously this lady behind me, the Angel of the North, this has become our emblem in Gateshead. Well, the whole of Tynesider really. It's a wonderful sculpture by Anthony Gormley, and we love her very dearly. And it even made the Gateshead badge, which used to be a goat's head with a portcullis on it. The Metropolitan Council badge it was originally, but the Angel of the North, wow. The other thing is good luck at the weekend, and I really, really got everything crossed, and I'd love to see Gateshead get back into the National League, and I'd love to see them go somewhere else and go further and higher and better. They've got a great team this year, and I tell you what, if you're looking for goals, it didn't happen last weekend, but I tell you what, normally they're banging them in. So if it's goals you want to see, go and watch Gateshead, I tell you. So from me, Geordieland 1892, I'm going to sign off. I've said enough, but I will be back with more videos about Gateshead Football Club. Like I say, I definitely want to do one about the history. So if you like this video, like it. If you want to share it, please share it. And please remember to subscribe. Helps my channel massively, helps On The Volley massively. And have a look at some of the other videos on the channel. There's some good ones, you know. If you like Celtic, got a lad on there, Shard does a lot of Celtic videos. I also do a few Newcastle United ones as well. We also have a betting forum that comes up, and you'll have a bit of a laugh with that. But so me, from Geordieland 1892.